Hello YouTube, this is Super Pro Gamer X with a tutorial today for power leveling. I know it's been a while since I made a video. I'm sorry about that, I just haven't got a chance to get around it, life gets in the way. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can power level your character. I'm also going to explain it a little bit here. So what power leveling is you can start out a new character, and you can start from either 10 or 20 and get your character up to either 50 or even 60 if you really wanted to. It takes a lot of time and effort. If you start at 10, I'm going to show you some dungeons you can do in Wizard City to level yourself up. So how it works is you need a higher level friend, or if you have a second account, you can use your higher level character to power level yourself. So all it is you port your high character into the dungeon, then you have your low character, or you have your friend port in there, and you have yourself port in, and then the XP from the dungeon that is given will level you up. So doing this over time, doing it in each dungeon as you go through each world, you can eventually gain a bunch of levels. And like I said, you can get up to 50 or even 60 depending, where you want to be. So the highest I've gotten is 56 because of the crafted gear in Winter Tusk and Grizzleheim. So, and the character I recently did it with is a balance, and he is 57 questing in Marylebone. Right now the main quest is in Marylebone. So it's a very efficient way to do it. It's, people are posting videos on, oh, this is the fastest way to level, blah blah. No, this is the fastest way you can level and be able to be up there in level and be able to just destroy everything in your way. It makes the game 10 times easier than what it already is. So let's get started. So this is Sunken City. This is one of the dungeons that you can do in Wizard City if you're going to starting at level 10 for power leveling. This is a very easy dungeon. It's located under the rainfall in Nightshade, right here, Sunken City. In order to do this quest, you will need to talk to her to start it. So now let's move on to the next dungeon in Wizard City that you can do. Sorry about that, my mistake. I thought there was more than one. No, that's the only one you can do in Wizard City for power leveling. Anyways, moving on to the next world. Okay, so we have, I believe, 3 dungeons in this world in total. We have one in the Pyramid of Sun, 2 in the Krakus Finks, and 2 in the Tombs of Storm. So that's a total of 5 dungeons that you can do here that can help you power level. Let's start with the Pyramid of the Sun. Alright guys, this is the first dungeon you can do. It's in the Throne Room of Fire. We are in the Palace of Fire. Can't speak. This one will, if you start at level 10, between the dungeon from Wizard City and this one, you can jump between 2 to 3 levels. Just doing this one. On to the next. Here we are in the Krakus Finks. This is where you have 2 dungeons that you can do for power leveling. We got the Vault of Ice and the Emperor's Retreat. The Vault of Ice will give you enough XP to level about once, sadly. This dungeon you go through, you gotta defeat 3 Screamers, Scarlet Screamers, and you have to defeat 1 boss Scarlet Screamer. And it gives you about 600 XP. If you want to do it twice, you can get 300 XP the second time. That's another thing I forgot to explain at the beginning of the video. You can repeat these dungeons twice and get XP twice if you want. But like I said, this is if you really want to push that power level to 60. But it's entirely up to you. These dungeons are portable, the same as the first one. So now we're going to move on to the storm area of Kroctopia, my favorite part. This is the next dungeon. We are in the Hattons Barricades, and this is Hattons Palace. Sorry for the mispronunciation. I do not know how to pronounce it. This one is very long. You can gain maybe 2 levels from it. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, last dungeon for Kroctopia that you can do for power leveling. It is called the Temple of Storms. In the Well of Spirits, as soon as you walk through the portal, you walk into this building, and you have the Temple of Storms. This is where it's the last dungeon that we can do in Croctopia for power leveling. On to Marylebone. Here we are at the first two dungeons in Marylebone that you can do for power leveling. We have Kensington Park and the Ironworks. Kensington Park can be kind of difficult, but it gives a good chunk about XP. So is the Ironwork. Marylebone has about 5 dungeons that you can do that are portable and you can get XP from. Here we are at Canteens Lab. This is on the Scotland Yard roof. You come up here and right here. This one is kind of draggy, but it's worth it. It gives a lot of XP. There's also a hidden boss that you can fight at the end. Alright, last section of Marylebone that you can do dungeons for power leveling. We have the Counterweight West and Counterweight East. They are all located, and we have Big Ben. They're all located in the Royal Museum in Marylebone. Big Ben, it's really dependable. It's like I said before. It depends on where you want to be for leveling when you're questing. Big Ben, I don't really think it's worth it. But each dungeon, they both give about 600 XP at the end. Like I said, again, you can do each dungeon twice. This all really depends on where you want to be for leveling and where you are questing wise. Now we need to move on to Mushu. Now for Mushu, there is about a dungeon. There's 3 dungeons in Mushu, and it's an area, it's a dungeon in about almost small each area. Now you have to bear it with me. Like I said, I have a hard time pronouncing these words, these names correctly. But there is one in the Hamsu village down, and then there's one in each little section, of course. So now we're gonna start with Hamsu village. First dungeon in Mushu called the Crimson Fields. We are at the Hamsu village. It's all the way down here by the main teleport section. Crimson Fields. It's a very long dungeon, but it's worth it. The second dungeon in Mushu called the Yaki Temple. This is the one we go through, and you have to turn on each temple to bring up the storm boss towards the end. Then you have to fight the Oni. This one is a very lengthy dungeon. It's like I said, if you really want to get that highest level you can get, you can do it, but this one is kind of lengthy. I don't feel like it's worth it, but if you want that XP, I'd shoot for it. This is the last and third dungeon of Mushu that you can do. It is called the Tree of Life. It's a very quick, simple dungeon. It's good XP. And this is the last one for Mushu. Now we move on to the next world that I have forgotten the name of. On to Dragonspire. Welcome to Dragonspire, folks. So there is sadly only one dungeon that you can do here for power leveling that's portable, because as I last knew, the final dungeon for defeating Malistaire is not portable, I believe. So the only dungeon that you can do here is the Labyrinth. Here we are at the Labyrinth. This is located in the Necropolis. This dungeon you have like 5 bosses you have to defeat. It's kind of tough. Like I said, this is why you're supposed to have a high level person bring you into this dungeon if you're trying to power level your character, or as I said in the beginning, if you have a second account with a max character, there you go, you're already set to go. Now we're gonna jump to Celestia, and then we'll go back to Grizzleheim. There is 2 dungeons in Grizzleheim you can do, but we're gonna jump to Celestia first because they give less XP. You want to start with dungeons that give less XP because the lower you are, the less experience you gain. So let's say, okay, let's say a dungeon gives you like 40,000. Okay, so if your character is like level 20 or 30, that 40,000 becomes 15 to 20,000. So you want to try to start from the lowest up to the highest, because as it goes, you know, the higher XP it is. And if you're low, you won't gain all that XP. So you want to start with lower level dungeons and then just work your way up. So we're going to go to Celestia first, and we have a couple in Grizzleheim. So in Celestia, we have 3 dungeons that are all in the same area. This is pretty easy. It's the Celestia base camp. You go up here and you can find the Porcorato. Sorry about putting out my punctuation. I can't just know how to pronounce this stuff. Then you have the one next to it called the Chancellor, and then you have your last one right here, the final dungeon. This is only portable once you get past the puzzle part. Once you get past the puzzle part, this is portable. There's no XP given at the puzzle part. So once you get to the first boss, once your person or who's helping you, or if you're doing it yourself, once you get past the puzzle part, you're able to port into this dungeon. Alright, on to Grizzleheim. Here we are at the first dungeon in Grizzleheim that is portable. We have the Hall of Valor. We are in the Nivadler. Again, sorry. This one is very easy. It's like you go through, I think you just defeat one boss at the very end and you get XP. I know this is a dungeon, but I am unsure that it gives XP. I believe it does. And then this one is also a dungeon, but as far as I know, it doesn't give any XP, sadly. So now we're going to go on to the other dungeon that is portable and does give a massive amount of XP, and this is going to be in Winter Tusk. For those out there who do not know what Winter Tusk is, this is where Winter Tusk entrance is. So you have to complete the entire storyline of Grizzleheim to enter Winter Tusk. You have to complete every last area in this area to do this. And once you complete every area in Grizzleheim, Professor Ambrose will come up and say, hey, I want to come talk to you, Grizzleheim needs help. Then you go back and you come over here, and this is where Winter Tusk is. Winter Tusk is part of this whole power leveling process, but we'll get back to this after we got the dungeons down packed. Okay, this is the last dungeon in Grizzleheim post Winter Tusk that you can do for a massive amount of XP, called an Asteroid. We are in Winter Tusk. This is the map for Winter Tusk. It's called the 100 Ford. This is the common area for Winter Tusk. It's right here. It's very tough, very long, but about every time you complete a battle, you get XP for it, and you'll gain about six levels from this dungeon just for doing it once. Like I said, you can do these dungeons up to two times, but there's a catch for that. If you go back and you do the storyline, you come through here. If you do these dungeons twice, you will not receive the XP the time you do it for the main quest. That's the only downfall of this. But if you complete the 2 times, you get the double XP. You're good to go. You know, you can be level 50, level 60, but at this point you should be at 30, 35, 40. So from this one you should gain, like I said, 5 to 6 levels. It's a really good dungeon. It gives a massive amount of XP. It's not that tough to do. So now we're gonna go and we're gonna move on to Azteca. Azteca is one of the last worlds that you can gain XP from through in dungeons. But then we got one more place in Polaris that you can, as a low level, it allows you to collect a quest and do the dungeon with your friend or yourself, however you're doing this. So, as I said, onto Azteca, we got 2 dungeons we can do there. They give a massive amount of XP, of course. So, moving on. Alright guys, this is the first dungeon you can do in Azteca. Like I said, there's only 2 dungeons that you can do here that are portable, but they do give a massive amount of XP. And like I said, again, you can do them twice if you do choose so, but you do not gain any XP when you do it for the quest line. This is called the Deepest of Mines, and we are in the Centaur and the Maw. When you're in 3 points, you go in and you see a place called the Maw. You go in there, and then you got the Centaur, and this is the dungeon that you can do. that gives massive amount of XP. It is totally worth it. There's 3 fights, easy. As long as you got a storm with you, you can smack through it like it's nothing. On to the last dungeon for Azteca. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to show you how you get to this dungeon because it can be kind of difficult. So this is the only way I know how to get to it, is you jump on this portal when you're in the commons area of Azteca. It's called the teleporter to Terabia. It's over here by Prospector Zeke and Illinois. Let's go. Now the only reason why I'm showing the path to this one because it is kind of difficult to find, and I want to make it easy for you guys to find these dungeons. I don't want you spending hours trying to find a dungeon that you want to gain that extra XP from. This dungeon is located in the pitch black lake. You go through here, come down here, go down the stairs, blah blah blah. The reason why I didn't show the path to the other dungeons is because they're pretty easy to access, and I didn't want to make a super long video and you guys be like, oh, why is this dragging on? So, you know, just doing it for the viewers, making it faster and quicker for the viewers, get it over with. But like I said, I'm doing this one because it's kind of difficult to get here. Here we are in the pitch black lake. You want to come over here near the pyramid of the Mother Moon. Now, of course, you need your high level friend to get through this part because this is blocked if you're low level and you haven't done the quest for it yet. All I have to do is go through this door, and here we are, Pyramid of the Mother Moon. This has a storm and a myth boss at the end. They are kind of difficult. I just finished doing this for a friend, helping him power level. And I had a hard time doing this as a max storm. But yeah, no, this is the end of our journey, as you can say, for power leveling dungeons. Now, like I said, this is in the pitch black lake. It's located right here, right in the middle. Very easy, except for the bosses. And like I said, this is the end of porting and doing dungeons. There's only one more place that you can get any XP from for dungeon wise, but there's a quest you have to collect in order to do it. So that's in Polaris, and we're gonna move on to that. And after that, we're gonna move on to the whole questing through Winter Tusk to get that massive amount of XP. Now, by this point, if you've gotten to this point, if you've done just the dungeons, now if you've done them one time each, I'm gonna say you've gained, at this point, if you've completed this one too, at this point you have gained about, say if you start at 10, you are about 45-ish right now, or 30. No, it's like more like 35-40 if you're at this point. If you did them twice, you're more likely to be 40-45. And like I said, if you really want to push that level 50 or 60, you're really trying to push that level to get up there, and you want to quest in Croctopia at level 56 or 60, man. I mean, you just gotta do it. You gotta push it. You gotta do these dungeons twice and continue on what I'm showing you. So we're gonna move on to Polaris now. Like I said, this is the last port-in dungeon. This is the one where you have to do the quest to do the dungeon. Alright, we are now in Polaris. This is the spot I was telling you where you have to get the quest in order to do the dungeon. So, in order to get here, once you enter Polaris, you have to go to the harbor, and once you get to the harbor, you have to go to the Basilisk. So this is to do the dungeon, Cellblock B. Now once you come in, now I've already completed this, so you can't see it from me, but once you come in here, there'll be a little guy right here. A little penguin right here. He'll have a quest for you. And the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to defeat the Iron Paws. Once you defeat the Iron Paws, come back, talk to him, boom, some XP, should level you up. Then you come over here, and all I want you to do is Cellblock B. Now this is the last and final dungeon that I know of that you can do as a low level to gain that extra XP that you want. Most other dungeons I know that I did not show in the worlds that I did are not portable. I know there's more than what I showed, but the ones that I'm showing are ones that are portable and you can gain XP from. So The whole purpose of this video is because I've seen multiple videos on YouTube, multiple blogs saying, oh, this is the fastest way to level up, this is the fastest way to gain XP. This is truly the fastest way you can level up and the fastest way you can gain XP. You can get up to level 60 in a day. This is only a day process. So, and it's a lot cheaper than buying the instant level 50 potion. Just saying. The only thing it doesn't do is doesn't jump your quest book all the way up to Celestia, but it is what it is. It helps you level your character without paying crowns. So we are not at the end of the tutorial. We have one more thing with Winter Tusk. Like I said, with Winter Tusk, the only way you can complete it, get to it, is by completing all of Grizzleheim. Once, like I said, you have to be, I think it's required between level 30 and 40 to be able to unlock the quest for Winter Tusk. But all you have to do is you just talk to Ambrose. He'll give you a quest to go to Grizzleheim. Come to Grizzleheim, like I said again, just complete every section in Grizzleheim, and once that's done, it'll have you talk to Ambrose, and he'll send you back, and you come down here, and this is Winter Tusk. Winter Tusk, there's plenty of quests to do. There's a bunch of side quests. I recommend doing the side quests if you really want to get that level 56 or 60. But no, this is the end of the tutorial. Power leveling explained. This is the true way to max out your character as high as you can go without questing. Like I said, I've seen multiple places where people are saying, oh, this is the fastest way, this is the fastest way. This is truly the fastest way you can go when it comes to power leveling your character. So I'm sure after King's Isle sees this video, they will be fixing this. So I would get to it as soon as you can. As soon as you see this video, get to it. So thank you for watching this video today. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Wizard101 tutorials. This is Super Pro Gamer X checking out. Have a nice day.